Imagine you're 40 years old. You open your banking app and the balance says almost nothing. No emergency fund, no investments, no safety net, just bills, rent, and the crushing realization that the decade that was supposed to build your future quietly slipped away. This is what life looks like when you waste your 20s and save nothing. But stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why it happens and exactly how to make sure it never happens to you. Here's something nobody tells you at 22. Your 20s are the single most powerful decade of your entire financial life. Not because you earn the most, you don't. Not because you have the most opportunities, you probably don't. But because of one thing, money can never buy back once it's gone: time. Time is the one asset that only moves in one direction. And in your 20s, you have more of it than you ever will again. Every year you let slip by isn't just a lost year, it's a lost multiplier. Because money doesn't grow in a straight line, it grows on itself, faster and faster, the longer it's left alone. That's the part most people feel too late. Let me show you the number that changes everything. Compound interest rewards the early, not the rich. Here's the trap. Wasting your 20s is almost never one big dramatic mistake. It would be easier if it were. Instead, it's 1,000 tiny invisible ones that feel completely normal while you're making them. It looks like spending every paycheck the second it lands, treating being broke as a personality instead of a temporary stage you're supposed to grow out of. It looks like financing a lifestyle on credit cards and buy now, pay later, quietly paying 20% or more in interest for things that lose their value the moment you own them. It looks like telling yourself you'll get serious about money later, when later has a way of silently becoming never. It looks like chasing status, the nicer car you can't afford, the clothes, the gadgets, the endless nights out, all to impress people who, honestly, aren't thinking about you at all. And it looks like the most dangerous belief of them all. I'm young, I have time. You do have time. That's exactly why it's so valuable, and exactly why wasting it costs so much. None of these feel like mistakes in the moment. Each one feels like just living your life. That's what makes them so quietly destructive. Picture two people. The first starts investing just $200 a month at age 22 and stops completely at 32. Only 10 years of saving. The second waits, then invests $200 a month from 32 all the way to 60. Almost 30 years of saving. Who ends up with more money? The one who started at 22. The one who saved for a third of the time. They win by a landslide because their money had an extra decade to compound, and that head start snowballs into something the late starter can never catch. Now, flip that idea around, and you'll see the real cost of wasting your 20s. When you don't save in that decade, you're not just losing the couple $100s a month you could have set aside. You're losing everything that money would have become over the next 30 or 40 years. The vacation you skipped saving for in your 20s might cost you six figures of retirement wealth. That's the invisible price. And you never feel it in the moment because at 25, retirement feels like science fiction. The consequences of a wasted decade don't show up with a warning. They compound too, just in the wrong direction. By your mid-30s, the person who wasted their 20s often finds themselves trapped in a way they never expected. They're stuck working jobs they hate because they can't afford to take a single risk. No savings means no options. A surprise car repair or a medical bill becomes a full-blown crisis, met with another credit card and more debt piled on top. They watch friends buy homes, take sabbaticals, start businesses, or simply breathe easier, while they're still living paycheck to paycheck, doing the same math every single month. Freedom slowly becomes a thing that other people have. And here's the cruelest part: the stress compounds too. Money anxiety doesn't stay in your bank account. It leaks into your relationships, your sleep, your health, your confidence. The weight of, I should have started years ago follows people around for decades. It's not really about the money, it's about the options the money would have bought, the freedom to say no, to walk away, to take a chance, to rest. Now, if this is hitting a little too close to home, I want you to hear the most important sentence in this entire video. This is completely avoidable, and it does not require a high salary. Let me repeat that because the whole self-help internet gets it wrong. You do not need to earn six figures. You do not need a perfect budget, a genius stock pick, or some secret rich people are hiding from you. You need to start. That's it. Starting small beats, starting perfectly, and starting late beats, never starting at all. Even a small amount, saved consistently, invested simply, and then left completely alone, quietly puts time back on your side. And time is the one thing that does the heavy lifting for you while you sleep. Because here's the truth about your 20s. The goal was never to get rich in that decade. That's not what it's for. The goal is to build the habits and the head start that make getting wealthy later feel almost automatic. You're not trying to win the game at 25. You're just trying to get on the field early while everyone else is still standing in the parking lot. If you take one idea away from this, let it be this. The people who seem to win with money in their 40s almost never got lucky. They didn't inherit it, and they didn't stumble into it. They simply refuse to waste the one decade where a little bit of effort creates a lifetime of results. They started boring. They started small. They started when it felt pointless. When the numbers were so tiny, they seemed like they'd never matter. And then they let time do what time does. So, wherever you are right now, whether you're 22 with your whole 20s ahead of you, or 29 feeling like you already blew it, or past 30 wishing someone had told you this sooner, understand this: your 20s were never meant for waiting, they were meant for planting. Small seeds, planted early, in ground you won't harvest for years. And yes, the best time to plant that seed was yesterday. But the second best time, the time that still completely changes your life, is right now. Today. This week. Before the next paycheck lands and disappears like all the ones before it. And you don't have to overhaul your whole life to do it. Start with one thing. Open the account you've been putting off, set up an automatic transfer so small you won't even miss it, and let it run in the background. Make the smart choice the default choice, so you don't have to rely on willpower every single month. Don't let this be the decade you look back on and grieve. Let it be the one that quietly made everything else possible. Start now. Your 40-year-old self is watching.